Our guy David's here and bringing up a point that I noticed in the game. Uh, I guess Jack Sawyer's name was not in the box score, but there was a few times it was noted on the broadcast. I think once by Herb Street, and I noticed it a few more times where a Notre Dame running back could not bounce
Mhm.
the 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 rush to the outside because Sawyer had like a tackle stood up about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and was setting that edge.
He also batted a pass. I think on a third down, he batted a pass that was toward the Notre Dame sideline that fell in the flat and went. He got his hand up. I don't know if they credited him with that or not, but at any rate, he was there. I think the way that Jim Knowles explained it after the game is he is learning this position, this Leo position, the Jack, however you want to call it, and he is like a utility player. He can line up in a lot of different places on the line of scrimmage. He can line up inside the defensive end. He can line up outside the defensive end. He could stand up. He could drop into coverage. He is a utility player. And the way Jim Knowles put it, he's another one of these players who Jim Knowles is programming as if he was on the field. And if you see this, then you do this type thing. And that takes time to learn that position and understand exactly that if the quarterback takes a snap and makes this step or this read or the running back does this or whatever, that he's to play the play in a certain assignment. So I think he's cutting his teeth on that. They're trying to put him in position to make plays and put him in position to help the defense get stops. And I think that, and they're also trying to confuse the offense as to exactly what is this guy going to be doing on this snap. Is he coming hard as an extra pass rusher? Is he dropping into coverage? Is he playing the run? What is he doing? So I think it's a work in progress. I think you're going to see him eventually in a game or two start running into ball carriers and be it the quarterback or the running back. And I think that's when you'll start to see this guy really pay bigger dividends. But you're right. He was part of a scheme in this game to set an edge on some plays and force the carrier back inside to where Tommy Eichenberg cleaned up plays. The safeties came in, my call, et cetera, et cetera. So to me, I think he did his job, even if the production wasn't there with sacks or tackles.
Yeah, for somebody who didn't record a stat according to the post-game game book, he was one of the more active players to ever be there. And let's not forget, Notre Dame only had 48 offensive plays, so we're looking at a pretty small sample size of plays that defensive players could have been out there doing anything. I've had the opportunity to go back and watch the game once, and I've kind of started a closer second rewatch. I saw plenty of 33 out there doing things. I mean, obviously, we're going to sit there. Your eye's going to be drawn to 51 with Mike Hall, and JT Tuamolo out 44 did a lot, and Ronnie Hickman. But I think that Jack Sawyer, as he learns this position, because he's filled out. I mean, when he year one, he's a big dude, and you can tell he's obviously a football player. But when you see him walking through the Woody Hayes facility now, I mean, he's a lot different in terms of his build. And I think that as soon as everything kind of gets put together, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and he's versatile because they used him all over the defensive line, as you guys are saying. At times, he basically becomes a three tech, standing behind the defensive line and sneaking up on it. And then you have him as the strong side to set the edge. You've got him as the weak side pass rusher. And I think it'll be interesting to see how he develops and what he gets best at and how much Jim Knowles uses that and the different ways, because this is still evolving, as you guys said. And so to see so much of it early on, I think that's a positive thing. And it's something where Notre Dame had to know where he was at all times. It's going to be one of those things where a quarterback is pointing out the mic and pretty soon also going to have to point out the Jack or the Leo, like just make sure everybody knows where he is, because there's a reason he's there. And there was one where he just attacked the line and freed up JT and So like there's purposes for everything he's doing. So if you're not paying attention to him, then you're doing it wrong. And so it's going to be fun to see what he does moving forward. I don't, do they need to do it more this week? I don't know. And I don't know that you call off the dogs or anything. You're still treating these as games where guys get better and guys improve, not necessarily practices, but $1.8 million pay for practices, basically.